Joe Satlin. I'm with Jamis Software Corporation, and I am the Director of Product Innovation and Development. Well, I came to work for Jamis 6 years ago to design and implement a new ERP system for the government contracting vertical market to replace a 25-year-old COBOL system that they had. So we came in, found Acumatica, and we built the next system off of that base.
So my name is Viktor Tratsevskyy. I'm Chief Architect for Jamis Software Corporation. I joined Jamis 6 years ago as well. Previously was working at Microsoft for 5 years or 6. Right now in charge of architecture of our product.
Let me tell you about a good project. Victor, actually, I met Victor at my previous employer. I was a design person and I conceptually designed applications, and then we brought in Victor to do a web app, right? Wow, that was a long time ago, 7, 8 years ago. And come to find out that the application that we were actually looking at creating was a particular vertical application, but we wanted to build a framework that's very similar to what Acumatica framework does today. So we hired Victor from Microsoft to come in and do that project for us. So that's one of the projects that I worked on, and it was very interesting because we worked on it for a number of years and never got to the customization level of being able to do the customization like Acumatica. But then we left. I came to work for Jamis. I brought Victor with me. I said, this is what we always wanted. And that's the ideal project that we've done.
So yeah, for me, right now I'm working on our test environment that we build in Jamis. Basically, we right now have test engineers that writing automation tests, and we need to be able to run those tests on different versions of Acumatica and measure performance and so on. So we're using different technologies like Docker and Puppet to deploy our test cases to Amazon. This is what I'm doing currently.
Well, the thing that I like about the platform is that it forces you to adhere to the standards, whether it's UI or whether it's development standards, because you have the add-ins for Visual Studio. We do all of our development in Visual Studio. We don't do the customization framework. So you have your templates to use, because from running software projects for years, I always found that different developers have different criteria when they're actually developing, especially on the UI level. I know one developer, he couldn't get the tab order correct on a form no matter what you did, right? But with Acumatica, you don't worry about any of that. All of that stuff is taken care of you, and you're forced to actually develop using their framework, so you get a much better product out in the end.
The most thing I like about Acumatica is basically it's very customizable, and we can do about like anything in Acumatica Platform, so we could address any customer need.
Well, let's see. We've been working with Acumatica Platform. The hardest thing that we had to overcome was when we first started out, the documentation and the training was not there for what we were doing because of the extent of customization we were doing. Of course, that's not an issue nowadays. The one thing that I still like to see and that Acumatica is following is having more robust reporting. So, everything in there, AP is AP. Entering an invoice is entering an invoice, whether it's us or one of the competitor products. But the dashboards and some of the reporting capabilities is really what's starting to make this product different than others.
Yeah, I would say, as I mentioned, the system is very customizable, so this great power comes with great responsibility, and when developers start doing some customization, sometimes they not quite understand what they're doing, and because of that we have some different complications in terms of performance. And it's not a kind of Acumatica issue, it's an issue of a developer who was doing that particular feature. So for me, what would be interesting, that Acumatica provide us kind of a set of tools that will prevent developers doing kind of complex queries or something that will sacrifice performance. This would be really great.
New tools, what I get ask the most from whether it's, customers or, we have town hall meetings. We sit there and listen to our customers just like you do. The one thing that I'm asked for the most is more reporting capabilities. But, we still have 6.0 coming, which has the great pivot to capabilities, Power BI integration. All of this is great. And that's really where the tools are that I'm looking for. We actually started 6 years ago. I started in July. Victor started in August. Back then we started with, Acumatica 2.0 or something like that. And then quickly we moved into Acumatica 3. We put together the team. We started writing story cards, agile development. We did some test forms just to see if we could do them, everybody on the team. January, that was 2011, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so it was 2012, we started developing at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, we had a product that we could actually go and start implementing. We implemented ourselves first, we always do. And then we found a partner, a customer from the Seattle area. Actually, this particular company used to be upstairs when you were in Kirkland. They were in the office above you. And he implemented, and that year was a transition year where we transitioned from the legacy system to the new system in terms of PS and everything, and we continued to enhance. I would have never expected to have an ERP system for government contracting in 12 months of development. You just can't do that. So I think that's proof on the product that we decided to build on, to be able to do that. And then, of course, as you know, this last January 1st, just a couple weeks ago, we had 16 new customers go live all on one day. So it's kind of an amazing story, yeah.
And for example, our code base probably right now 1 million lines of code, 300 tables.
By the way, that's on top of the Acumatica.
Yes, it's on top of it.
Yeah, so we've done a lot. The one thing that I really liked about it, and Victor could vouch for this, is that all of the plumbing work, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's all done for you. You don't have to worry about the security. It's all done for you. And so you really concentrate on just writing the business logic. You don't have to write all the other stuff. And like I said, our first version was on Acumatica 3.2, and then we went through the 4.0 series and the 5.0 series, and now we just starting on 6.0. And again, every single version, the enhancements that Acumatica has put into the platform has been so beneficial. We would have never done mobile on ourselves. We're a small company, and Acumatica gets us the mobile framework, and now it's just configuration to push our forms out.